Welcome once again to San Diego Sports Talk, the John Kentera Show. We thank you very much for joining us. We got a lot to cover today. A lot of things going on with our San Diego Padres. A lot of things going on in college football in San Diego. And I want to, first of all, before we get rolling here, I want to tell you a little brief history on why we started this podcast. After I was let go at my last radio employer, I had a lot of you folks out there that have followed me for years and years and years. And I can't begin to tell you how many messages I got going, Coach, you got to start a podcast. Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know a whole lot about podcasting, but through a couple of really great individuals, we've got this thing up and running. It's growing in its popularity. And we actually have some sponsors to announce today. I'm very excited about both of these sponsors because I've known them for a long, long time. I want to start off with Grangetto's Farm and Garden Supply. They've been in San Diego, North County for over 70 years. They started back in 1952, a great company, family-owned business, and reliable home buyers. Josh Masai and his team, I've known Josh for over 20 years, and man, absolutely fantastic guy. And boy, he's made a lot of families very, very happy. So we'll tell you more about Grangetto's and reliable home buyers here as the program goes on. But want to welcome them to our program. They're our first two sponsors. We haven't really gone out and actively looked to get sponsors. If you have somebody you'd like to sponsor, you can certainly get in touch with us. But we're very excited about these two sponsors because they're two long-standing companies in America's finest city. But I wouldn't have got this podcast started without you folks urging me and prodding me a little bit. And I got to be honest with you, I've had a lot of fun with it to this point. And we're going to keep this thing rolling because I really believe I can give you sports fans in San Diego and all over Southern California a lot of valuable information. I still keep my contacts. I still talk to people like I did when I was on the radio day in and day out. And again, we have a lot of fun with it. And I certainly appreciate all the comments. And again, we're approaching 2,000 subscribers. I had no idea what to expect, to be honest with you. But we're approaching 2,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the program and also turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our content. And by the way, with sponsors now, we're going to go to 3 times a week. We were doing 2 times a week, but we're going to move it up to 3 times a week. So you'll get as much information as I can pull in. It's amazing working on a podcast. I work every bit as hard on this podcast as I did on the radio. I'm what you call a grinder in anything I do. So I try to get you the best information I possibly can, up to date. And again, on our YouTube page, please write your comments down. I really enjoy scrolling through those comments. And every once in a while, I'll try to get back to you, especially on Facebook. You can follow me at John Kentera. And on X, you can follow me at Coach Kentera 44. And with that, let's get to all the information. Well, on Sunday, the Padres, man, it was touch and go there. They had a 3-0 lead early. Jackson Merrill hitting a 2-run homer, got 21 dingers now on the year. Padres ended up getting a sacrifice fly from Jurickson Profar. They were up 3-0, but man, Tampa Bay came back. But the Padres eked out a 4-3 victory on getaway day at Tropicana Field. The game got started late because they honored the crime dog, Fred McGriff. Padres honored him earlier this year. Of course, Fred McGriff, a great Hall of Fame player, went into the Hall of Fame last summer. And so the game got started a little bit late, but nonetheless, the Padres won the rubber game. They finished their 7-game road trip, 4-3, and they come home. They'll play Monday night against the Detroit Tigers, and then they have an off day on Tuesday, which is kind of odd, but they'll have played 18 straight days. And they'll be off Tuesday, and then they'll pick up that series with the Tigers on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Bob Melvin and the San Francisco Giants come to town on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But overall, great win on Sunday for the Padres. Dylan Cease got off to a really good start, but then really kind of lost his control. He did go over the 200 strikeout mark. Congratulations to him. 4 years in a row where he's had 200 or more strikeouts. He went 5 plus 3 batters in the 6th, gave up 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Jason Adam came in, and all 3 inherited base runners scored I mean, he just didn't quite have it today. He hit a batter with the bases loaded to drive in a run. Then he got a ground ball double play. Another run came in, and then with 2 outs, he wild pitched a run home to tie the game at 3. Jeremiah Estrada looked good on Sunday. Tanner Scott, I thought, looked really good. He ended up picking up the win. His work out of the bullpen between the Marlins and Padres, he's 9-5 out of the bullpen this year and dropped his ERA down to 1.57. And Robert Suarez, a little bit of a hiccup in the ninth, but was able to survive. His stuff hasn't been as crisp lately, but he went 1 inning, 1 hit, a walk, a strikeout to end the ball game, picked up his 30th save, and his ERA now at 2 even on the year. I mentioned Jackson Merrill, 2-run homer. He's got 79 RBIs. That ties the rookie record for the Padres, set by Benito Santiago, the great all-star catcher for the Padres years ago. And Jackson Merrill obviously is going to surpass that. Xander Bogaerts had a really good ball game on Sunday. He went 2 for 4, had the game-winning sac fly there in the 9th inning. And I got to tell you, Manny Machado, he went 1 for 4, but he had a big hit there in the 9th inning that swung Cronenworth, who led off the inning with a walk. He drove Cronenworth all the way to third base. Then they had Tyler Wade run for Cronenworth, and he was the one that came in on the sac fly by Xander Bogaerts, but a big win. And you can tell right now that the Padres are a little fatigued. There's no question about it. It's been a long haul, 18 days in a row. They've had to mix and match with their pitching, and you can tell they're pretty wore down. Now, tomorrow night, they're flying from the East Coast to the West Coast. They're going to grind through that game tomorrow night. Joe Musgrove expected to start. Tigers haven't mentioned who they're going to go with. We have the other pitching matchups we're going to give you a little bit later, but Big Joe will be ready to go. For the Padres, after tomorrow night's game, get a well-deserved day off on Tuesday. There's no question about that. Now, you go back to Saturday, and that ball game was over very, very quickly. Very quickly. Padres started Randy Vasquez. Padres got him a couple of early runs, but, man, he just didn't have it. 4 1/3, 11 hits, 9 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, gave up a home run, and hung in there, had to kind of take one for the ball club on Saturday. But then they went with Alec Jacob. And I got to tell you, Alec Jacob saved the bullpen for Sunday. There's no question about that. He went 3 2/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, hit a batter, had a strikeout, but did a heck of a job for the skipper, Mike Schilt. No question about it. Cronenworth had a nice ball game Saturday, 3 for 5, a 2-run homer with a double. Rise had a couple of hits and a couple of walks on Saturday. But at the end of the day, just too much Tampa Bay against Randy Vasquez. 11-4. Tampa Bay had hit the Padres that day, 13-10. Padres left 9 runners on. They were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And then you go back to Friday night. And, man, I'll tell you what, I watched the replay of this game. I was out with my wife celebrating her birthday. And I got home and watched the replay. And I sat there and I was excited. Padres, not only did they score 13 runs, they had 13 more hits. They blasted 3 homers. Manny, a huge night, 3 for 5, a 3-run homer. He's got 23 now in the year. He also had an RBI single. Bogaerts had his 7th homer, a couple of RBIs. David Peralta, 2 for 3, a 2-run homer. Martin Perez gutted through that out. He didn't have great stuff. Really gutted his way through 5 innings. He ended up getting the win. His record now 4-5, ERA at 4.71. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. But the one thing he did, when I went back and looked at the scoreboard, he faced 24 batters. And the one thing he did, and probably thankfully he did, he had first pitch strikes to 20 of the 24 batters he faced on Friday night. Sean Reynolds came in an inning and 2/3, couple of hits, a walk, but 5 punch-outs. Estrada didn't have a good night. Gave up a run in his one inning with a couple of walks and a wild pitch. Tanner Scott, a third of an inning. Adrian Morahone, an inning, a couple of punch-outs, did a pretty good job. Padres really roughed up Taj Bradley at 2 1/3 innings, 8 hits, and 8 earned runs for the rookie. So Padres got off to a good start on Friday night. Randy Vasquez, tough time on Saturday. And then Padres were able to get it rolling on Sunday. And then it really had to come back and fight and claw to get that victory. But, hey, they'll take it. I mean, the Padres doing a heck of a – it's been a heck of a year. And I got to tell you, Manny Machado, I know you go back to 2022, he had a really good year. the year the Padres got to the NLCS and got beat by Philadelphia. But Manny Machado, for me, is swinging the bat as well as I think I've ever seen him. And I don't know what his numbers are going to end up, but I'm going to tell you where he's going right now. He may end up with 100 RBIs, which would be pretty good because he got a real slow start this year. Okay, there were a bevy of roster moves prior to the game on Sunday, and I want to share those with you. And there could be more. We know there are going to be more because you got Darvish coming back. He threw on Friday. If you didn't hear, he threw a 4-inning minor league, kind of simulated game. But he went out there, got 3 outs, went and sat, and came out again. He did that for a full 4 innings. And the reports I got, he looked good. He looked really good. Now, the next time out, not sure if he's going to go out on a rehab assignment. I'm sure the Padres are going to talk with you, find out where he's at. Probably needs a rehab assignment, I would imagine. I'd send him to AAA. I wouldn't have him go against kids at Elsinore or Fort Wayne. I'd send him to AAA. Let him throw 3-4 innings there, and then maybe next weekend start him against the Giants at home. I'd like to start him at home rather than start him out on the road his first time back. Okay, and we know Fernando's making progress. He could be activated really anytime. He could be activated Monday, maybe Wednesday. They may want to give him maybe a day to work out with the ball club on Monday, the off day on Tuesday, and get him back with the ball club on Wednesday. And again, it's going to be very interesting to see how they utilize Fernando. Very much going to be interesting to see how they utilize Fernando. And then Ha-Seong Kim's making progress as well. Wandy Peralta, he was activated today. He's been dealing with that groin problem. But I mentioned a lot of roster moves. On September 1st, the rosters are able to expand from 26 to 28. And the Padres got that. And let me give you all these moves so you're caught up. Randy Vasquez optioned to AAA this morning. Left-hander Tom Cosgrove recalled from El Paso. Padres selected the contract of catcher Elias Diaz, the former Colorado Rocky. He'll be wearing number 15. 33 years of age. Will be a free agent at the end of the year. 84 games with Colorado this year. He hit 270. 5 homers. And remember, he was the MVP of the National League. He hit the game-winning homer in the 2023 All-Star game. So another nice veteran. Here's kind of the bad news today, I think. Right-hander Lake Bachar, who the Padres called up on August 25th, and then they optioned him out after the game on August 25th. He's been with the Padre organization since 2016. He got designated for assignment today. So if he clears waivers, he can re-sign with the Padres, but they'll lop him off the 40-man roster. And the unfortunate thing, that was his first time to the big leagues. He got to the big leagues and didn't get to pitch. He got to sit in the bullpen, but didn't get to pitch. Who knows if he'll ever get called up again? I've heard those stories. Brian Mazzone from La Costa Canyon High School in USD, that happened to him with the Phillies one time. He got called up to pitch a ball game, saw his beautiful jersey in the clubhouse. Game got rained out, got sent back to AAA, and never got called up again. That stinks. But Lake Bachar DFA'd. Maybe he'll end up back with the Padres. Who knows? Padres also selected the contract of outfielder Brandon Lockridge to add him to the 40-man roster, and then they optioned him to AAA El Paso. Right-handed pitcher Stephen Kolek, a Rule 5 guy this year, been transferred to the 60-day IL. Forearm tightness, so he's done for the year. Now, here's the move that I told you. And I think everybody will remember 2 weeks ago, I mentioned the Dodgers were going to have roster problems. And they were bringing back Chris Taylor, and we know about Jason Hayward, but they had a bunch of moves they had to make. And I told you they were probably going to DFA Nick Ahmed, the 2-time Gold Glove shortstop with Arizona, who started this year with the Giants and then ended up with the Dodgers. Well, the Padres on Sunday signed him to a minor league contract, so he's going to be in El Paso. And I got to be honest with you, at some point in time, he's probably going to come up. One of the reasons I think they signed him is they're still concerned about Ha-Seong Kim and that right shoulder. I mean, I think Kim's going to be able to come back and swing the bat. I don't know how his arm strength's going to be. But a nice insurance policy, and I told you that the Padres would probably go after him if he was DFA'd by the Dodgers, and he was DFA'd, cleared through waivers, and the Padres pick him up. So those are all the roster moves that I mentioned. Wandy Peralta back with the ball club as well. Okay, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Grangetto's Farm and Garden Supply. They're an incredible group of people, really incredible group of people. I can tell you, my wife and I absolutely gobble up their avocados. They've got incredible avocados, but they've been serving the North San Diego County for over 70 years. They started in 1952, folks, and this is where the professionals go. And you know what? I don't know a lot about farm and gardening, but I'll tell you what, talking with Kevin Granghetto, I have learned a ton, an absolute ton. And, I go out to ball fields all the time, and I'm always concerned. Why is there a brown spot out there in left field? Why is there a brown spot behind second base? Well, probably because the irrigation system ain't right. And the other thing about Granghettos, they do an incredible job of sponsoring different things around town. I've been to a couple of high school baseball games, and the PA announcer announces Granghettos has helped with the ball fields. That's the type of guy Kevin Granghetto and his family are. And again, the one thing that I would urge you to do to get more involved, we're going to be talking about them. They're great people. I want you to go to their website, granghettos.com, and sign up for their newsletter. It's real simple. I've been getting it for a long period of time. It comes twice a month. Get signed up. Again, go to their website, granghettos.com today. Make sure to sign up for the newsletter. It's delivered into your inbox twice a month with timely tips and gardening advice. Granghettos Farm and Garden Supply, thank you very much for sponsoring and being a big part of what we're doing here on the John Kentera Show on San Diego Sports Talk. I really appreciate all the fine sponsorship. Okay, I want to mention the Padres by the numbers. I got a host of numbers to share with you right now. With the win on Sunday, the Padres are now 78-61. They finished a 4-3 road trip. They split. Boy, that was frustrating. That was frustrating because they were dominating the Cardinals the first two games. But they won the first two, lost the next two, went into Tampa, got the win Friday. Rough outing on Saturday, but bounced back. Hey, anytime you get a winning road trip, you'll take it. 4-3, I will take that road trip. Padres road record now 41-29, and of course at home they're 5 games over 500 at 37-32. I can tell you this right now: Dodgers got beat by Arizona, and the way it looks now, Arizona and the Padres will be 5 games back. Dodgers 82-55. Arizona 77-60, Padres 78-61. So the Padres and Diamondbacks 5 games back. And in the National League wild card, Arizona and Padres will stay right there atop the National League wild card. Both teams looking really good. Braves, they got to do some work because the New York Mets are bearing down on them right now, big time. Padres are playing some great baseball. Now, I want to take a look at the month of August here for you. Month of August, the Padres finished a really good month. They were 18-10 in the month of August. August, they hit 269, a 337 on base percentage, a 441 slug, and a 778 OPS. 28 games. Talk about some power numbers. How about 48 doubles, 4 triples, and 36 dingers in 28 games? They scored 149 runs in the month of August. That averages out to be 5.32 runs per outing. I got news for you. You score those kind of runs, you're going to win a hell of a lot of ball games. That's why the Padres are sitting where they're at right now. Now, taking a look at some of the guys that hit for a high average in the month of August. David Peralta, who's probably going to the bench when Fernando comes back. He's going to still get playing time, probably get a little, maybe even some DH time. But Peralta in the month of August hit 325. Luis arrives at 317. Jackson Merrill had a big month. 303 with 7 dingers, 23 RBIs. And I mentioned Manny Machado hit 302. He had 9 doubles, 7 homers, and drove in 25 runs in the month of August. Man, he's just been absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. Okay, I want to take a look at the pitching matchups here a little bit. And again, the Tigers coming in. Now, this Tiger ball club's pretty good. They're 2 games over 500 right now. They've got a 70-68 record. They're managed by a guy that we know. He worked in the front office for the Padres a number of years ago, then went to the Houston Astros, won a World Series. We know about that World Series Houston won that year. But A.J. Hinch's a good baseball man. Caught at Stanford, caught in the big leagues. Good baseball man. Worked in the front office here in San Diego, and really a good guy. Monday night, Petco Park, 3:40 Labor Day special. Detroit undecided with who they're going with. Padres will go with our big right-hander, Joe Musgrove, who's really been throwing well since he came back from the IL. Joe, overall record 4-4 and a 4.44 that ERA was way high when he came back. But he's pitching really good baseball right now. Tuesday, the Padres are off. And then on Wednesday at Petco Park, it'll be at 6:40. Detroit going with a 24-year-old right-hander, Keter Montero, 4-6 and a 5.17. Padres are going to go with right-hander Michael King, who's had a really nice season, 11-6 and a 3.05. In the final game of the Tigers series, 27-year-old right-hander Casey Mize, their former #1 draft pick, going for the Bengals, 2-6 and a 4.36. Padres going with left-hander Martin Perez, 4-5 and a 4.71. And reminder on Thursday, that game will get underway at 5:40, an hour earlier than normally. Okay, I want to tell you about our other sponsor, Reliable Home Buyers. And I got to tell you that the gentleman that is involved with Reliable Home Buyers, your Reliable Home Buyers, great people. I got to tell you, Josh Messiah, I worked in the radio business with Josh 20 years ago. And I'm going to tell you right now, Josh made the right decision by doing what he's doing with your Reliable Home Buyers. And you can go to their website, yourreliablehomebuyers.com. Reliable Home offers a full spectrum of real estate services, buying, selling, financing, even purchasing old houses with cash. And it's all about you want some cash? You want to sell your house? And what's funny, I called Josh the other day and I said, Josh, hey, thanks for the sponsorship. He goes, no problem, coach. He goes, you and I go way back. And I go, thank you very much. And when I called him, he had his kids there at the batting cage. So you know how much he loves baseball. And again, cash offers for old houses. Need to sell your old house quickly. Reliable Home buys properties, as is with cash. You can contact them today. Contact Reliable Home today for expert guidance and seamless transactions. Call them today at 858-422-4116. Again, 858-422-4116, or visit them at yourreliablehomebuyers.com. And please, both Grand Jettos and Reliable Home Buyers, please patronize these folks, because they're being nice enough to get this San Diego Sports Talk, the John Kentera Show, out to you folks. So if you're looking to buy or sell your home, give them a crack at it right off the bat. And again, if you want some great things for a farm and garden supply, Grand Jetto should be at the top of your list. And again, I can't begin to tell you how much I love those avocados. So again, please patronize yourreliablehomebuyers.com, and we appreciate everything that they're bringing to the table. We got two great sponsors that I'm really, really excited about. Okay, we're going to get to college football, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Aztecs. It was ugly. Very, very ugly in the first half. A lot of empty seats, and we're going to talk about that in the next podcast. But Saturday night, they're playing Texas A&M Commerce. They were a 34.5-point favorite. They were trailing 6-3 at halftime. And I was getting – I can't begin to tell you the messages I was getting from Aztec fans. They were so bent out of shape. Now, you got to remember something. We got to be patient here. This is a work in progress. I don't know if they can go 500 this year. I don't know how many games they can win. 4-8, 8-4, 6-6. I have no idea. It's going to be a work in progress. And you talk about a telltale sign. First half, they were miserable. Way too many. They had 9 penalties in the first half. They ended up with 16 penalties, which you can't win football games against anybody, let alone a good opponent. But they won on Saturday night with 16 penalties because they were playing a team that they should have dominated right from the opening kickoff until the final gun. But they were trailing 6-3. I don't know what was said at halftime. Sean Lewis, I don't think he gave them the fire and brimstone speech. They probably met with their coordinators or position coaches. But, man, you guys are getting beat at the line of scrimmage. And they were getting beat at the line of scrimmage, really, the majority of the first half. But they came out trailing 6-3, and they put a whooping on Texas A&M Commerce big time in the second half. They rolled to a 45-14 victory. Some of the things I noticed, first half, 1 of 9 on third down. There were 2 of 3 on fourth down, but again, 1 of 9 on third down. They finished on the night 6 for 15, so they came back and went 5 of 6 on third down in the second half. That was good. They came out and I thought really played well. They played well in just about every phase of the game in the second half. They put up 42 second half points. They had 21 in the third period. They had 21 in the fourth. They had 2 defensive touchdowns, and they rolled to a victory. 468 total yards. They held Texas A&M Commerce to only 180 total yards. Aztecs had 468 total yards in the ball game, which is good. No turnovers. The young freshman quarterback, Danny O'Neill, no turnovers, no fumbles. Great stuff. Like that. Defense forced 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and interception. Danny O'Neill started very slow but finished very fast, I thought. I thought the kid looked good. 22 of 33, 214, 2 touchdowns, had 5 carries for 18 yards. Did a very nice job. And then senior running back, Marquez Cooper, had a huge game. This guy's the real deal. Saw his interview after the game last night. A lot of confidence. Guy has been around. I mean, he's approaching going over the 4,000-yard mark. I think he went over the 4,000-yard mark on Saturday night. But he ended up carrying the ball 27 times, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaged 8.3 per carry. Ran wild, had a 47-yard touchdown run, 7-yard touchdown run. So all in all, a very nice night for the Aztecs. But, man, that first half was ugly. And there were a lot of empty seats, and we're going to talk more about that. There are a variety of reasons why I think there are empty seats out of Snapdragon Stadium. But if you'd like to comment, and I'll pull some of those comments off our YouTube, and we'll take a look at them on our next program. But I am going to address that situation because they announced one figure, but the actual turnstile was only a little over 16,000. That's not what you want, especially for a brand new stadium or brand new coach. I would expect to fill that up a little bit better. I'm not saying it should be sold out, and I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money. But, man, this is a pretty good football town. I was a little disappointed. I thought a lot of people would want to come out and kind of check out Coach Lewis and what he's all about. But Danny O'Neill, a freshman, did a nice job. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, 9 of 19 early, but finished very, very fast. Next Saturday night going to be a good one. It's going to be a late start at 7:30 at Snapdragon. They're taking on Oregon State. Looking forward to that one. That ought to be fun. And then also on Saturday, over at Torero Stadium, the Toreros got a big win. Real big win over Cal Poly, 27-21. They rolled up 337 total yards. That's a great win for the Torero program, who really struggled a year ago. They played a keep away. They had the ball for 38 minutes and 13 seconds. And I know next week they're going to play at 1 o'clock. They're going to play Central Washington at 1 o'clock. So you could go to a doubleheader next Saturday. You go to USD at 1, maybe get a little food, or maybe get over in time to tailgate at Snapdragon Stadium and watch the late game. Now, you'd have to be a real diehard college football fan to do that. But, a really nice effort by USD. I'm very happy to see them get off to a good start. Their senior quarterback, Grant Sargent, 15 of 24, 153 yards. And senior running back Matt Colombo led the Toreros, 15 carries, 88 yards on the ground. All in all, a very nice effort by the Toreros. And, again, a nice win for the Aztecs. So there you have it. And, again, we take all comers and our YouTube. If you would, please subscribe. And we're going to be doing now 3 a week rather than 2 a week. And, again, want to thank our sponsors, Grangetto Farm and Garden Supply, and Reliable Home Buyers. And please patronize our sponsors so we can keep this going and going and going. Really enjoy it. So overall, turned out to be a good weekend for the Padres. Anytime you can take 2 out of 3. I guess the only thing that kind of irritates, we probably should have maybe snuck out at least one more win in St. Louis. But again, a winning road trip, 4-3. Padres back home on Monday night to take on the Detroit Tigers. Again, remember, kind of a quirky schedule. They play Monday night off Tuesday, and then they play on Wednesday at 6:40 and Thursday at 5:40. But we'll be talking to you long before that. But again, thanks again. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to the 2,000 subscriber mark. And again, you can follow me on Facebook at John Kentera and on X at Coach Kentera 44. Happy Labor Day to everyone. Have a great time, and we'll talk to you again real soon here on the John Kentera Show on San Diego Sports Talk. Bye-bye.